opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am equally surprised with the court decision to impose a fine of 50 million shillings on the Senate, when on the other hand, the same court said the Senate was right, and the Senate rightly impeached Gachagua according to the Constitution. We followed the Constitution and we impeached him according to the Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, when we were here, all of us were here, when the lawyer himself told us that he did not know where his client was. Now, if he didn't know, then, Mr. Speaker, how could we know as a Senate? How could we know? We did not know also, Mr. Speaker. So we did not know where he was. Now, whatever was brought later on that he was in hospital was an afterthought. And that afterthought, Mr. Speaker, cannot be used to impose a fine on us when we acted constitutionally, and the court has said so. And they have impeached him. Mr. Speaker, it is a contradiction. To me, it is a contradiction, Mr. Speaker. How could you impeach somebody for having breached the Constitution, and therefore the Senate was right, and on the other hand, Mr. Speaker, you impose a big fine. Mr. Speaker, I urge you to appeal. Mr. Speaker, you do the appeal and ensure that the court, our Senate does not pay this 50 million. Mr. Speaker, where do we get 50 million when we are struggling in our steering committee of Parliament? Yeah, we are struggling to get money even to travel locally. So where would we get 50 million? We are poor. If it was with the Assembly, with the National Assembly, perhaps they would be able to pay. But for us, we are not going to pay, and we are also right not to pay, Mr. Speaker. We are going to appeal. We are lawful. We follow the law. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I hope that this kind of judgment will not continue in our country.
Senator Okiya Omtata.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to this important issue. First of all, I also thank the Speaker for having moved this motion to have us discuss this issue. And from where I sit, I think it's an issue that does not call for a knee-jerk reaction. It's an issue that calls for reflection and meditation. Because impeachment is a constitutional process. And in the Constitution, Article 150 deals with the removal of the Deputy President. When you look at Article 150, Clause 2, it says the provisions of Articles 144, that's removal on the basis of health, and 145, the impeachment, relating to the removal of the President shall apply with necessary modifications to the removal of the Deputy President. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like us to take lessons from the judgment instead of condemning it. Because when I look at it, and I'm still convinced, even from the day this impeachment came here, that this House was not prepared for the impeachment of a Deputy President. I say so because we did not have that law that would modify the impeachment of the president to apply to the deputy president. And that, for me, trying somebody without a law, to me, amounts to a violation of their rights. I don't even find a contradiction in the finding of the court that there was a violation of the rights, given the court's own reasoning, which our speaker aptly captures here, where it says that it's like when you get somebody has been executed and you determine that the person was wrongfully executed, that may not restore the person back to life. That's the argument I'm seeing the court say here. And this particular quotation, that we find that His Excellency Gachagua's rights were infringed when the Senate declined to allow an adjournment. This violation constitutes both a vindication of his rights and a recognition of the constitutional infirmity in the process that does not undo the impeachment itself, given the finality of Article 145, Clause 7. So, Mr. Speaker, to me, I strongly believe that rules of procedure should benefit an accused person. And given that this gentleman, His Excellency Mr. Gachagua, had requested for an adjournment, this House had the capacity to grant adjournment.
Your time is up, Senator Okiya Omtata. Senator Biti Sogola.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the communication you have just read this afternoon, that this House must appeal. And Honorable Speaker, even with a lay mind, as my leader, Senator Wambua stated, that is lay to the law, I accept that, but he has eyes and he has ears. And Honorable Speaker, from where I'm seated, I was able to see Senior Counsel Paul Muite, where he was on that day. A number of you maybe had their backs turned to him. And I listened and watched as Senior Counsel representing the former Deputy President say that he did not know where his client was, Honorable Speaker. So, as a Senate, how would we have known where his client was? Honorable Speaker, even in basic absences in schools by pupils and students that are seated here, when they absent themselves from school and say they went to hostels, the administration always expects them to take their books from hospital where they were treated. And I remember in our long history in schools, we would take those exercises books that we